It's one of the most disturbing videos on the internet. 4 minutes of grainy surveillance footage from a hotel elevator that captures a young woman's final baffling moments. She steps in, presses a flurry of buttons, but the doors refuse to close. She peers out into the hallway, then retreats to a corner as if hiding from something, or someone. She gestures strangely, speaks to an unseen figure, and then vanishes, never to be seen alive again. For weeks, this video was the only clue in the disappearance of Elisa Lam. The world was obsessed, trying to solve the puzzle. But while millions dissected the footage, a different, more grotesque problem was brewing inside the very same hotel. Guests were complaining. The water in their taps was discolored, had low pressure, and tasted strangely sweet. The solution to the plumbing problem and the answer to Elisa's disappearance were in the same place, a place no one thought to look. Before she was the woman in the viral video, Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old student from the University of British Columbia. She was bright and adventurous, chronicling her life with a raw and relatable honesty on her personal blog. She wrote about her love for fashion and art, and openly shared her ongoing struggles with bipolar disorder and depression. In January 2013, Elisa embarked on a solo West Coast tour, a trip she hoped would be one of healing and discovery. She documented her journey online with photos of bookstores and cityscapes. Her final stop was Los Angeles, where she checked into a place with a notoriously dark past, the Cecil Hotel. Elisa was first assigned to a shared hostel-style room, but her roommates soon complained about her odd behavior, which included leaving them strange notes. As a result, the hotel moved her into a private room of her own. She was last seen alive on January 31st. The next day she was scheduled to check out, but she never made her daily call home. Her parents knew immediately that something was terribly wrong and reported her missing. The Los Angeles Police Department searched Elisa's room and the hotel with K-9 units, but found no trace of her. With the case rapidly going cold, they made a decision that would turn a missing person case into a global obsession. On February 13th, the LAPD released the elevator surveillance footage from the day she vanished. The video is less than 4 minutes long, but it's a deeply unsettling watch. In the clip, Elisa steps into the elevator and presses a panel of buttons, yet the doors remain open. She cautiously peeks into the hallway, almost like she's playing a game of hide-and-seek or perhaps hiding from someone. She darts back into the elevator's blind corner before stepping out again, her hands moving in strange, unnatural ways. At one point she appears to be talking to someone just out of frame, a person who is never seen. Finally she walks away down the hall, and the elevator doors close behind her. It was the last time anyone saw her. The video became a viral phenomenon. Millions of people watched, debated, and dissected her every move. Was she being pursued? Was she experiencing a psychotic episode? Or was something far more sinister at play? The video was supposed to be a clue, but it only created more questions than answers. For 19 days, Elisa Lam was gone. Then came the complaints about the hotel's water. On the morning of February 19th, maintenance worker Santiago Lopez went to the roof to inspect the 4 large water cisterns. The roof was a restricted area, with alarms on the main doors. Access was limited to those with a key or by using a fire escape. Lopez climbed a ladder to the top of the main tank and saw that the heavy metal hatch was open. When he looked inside, he made a horrifying discovery. Floating naked in the dark water was the body of Elisa Lam. The clothes she was wearing in the elevator video were found in the tank with her. The fire department had to cut a hole in the side of the massive cistern just to retrieve her body. The search for Elisa was over, but the mystery was just beginning. The bizarre circumstances fueled immediate suspicion of foul play. How could she have gotten into a locked water tank on a secured roof? The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office conducted an autopsy, but the initial results were inconclusive because her body had been decomposing in the water for over 2 weeks. When the final toxicology and autopsy reports were released in June, they shocked the online communities convinced this was a murder. The official cause of death was ruled an accidental drowning, with her bipolar disorder listed as a significant contributing factor. The toxicology report found no evidence of alcohol or illegal drugs. It did, however, find traces of her prescription medications, but at levels suggesting she had not been taking them properly. Her family confirmed Elisa had a history of doing this, which could trigger paranoid episodes and hallucinations. LAPD detectives pieced together a tragic theory. Elisa, likely suffering a severe psychotic episode, sought refuge on the roof. They believe she used the fire escape, which would have bypassed the alarm door. In her state of paranoia, the water tank may have seemed like the perfect hiding spot from a perceived threat. Police theorize that once she was inside, she was unable to get out, and the heavy lid may have swung shut. There was no evidence of assault, trauma, or suicide. With that, the LAPD officially closed the case. For investigators, the case was solved, a tragic accident fueled by a mental health crisis. But for the internet, that explanation felt incomplete. It didn't seem to account for the chilling coincidences or the hotel's sinister reputation. If you find this mystery as compelling as we do, make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into perplexing cases. And stick around because we're about to separate fact from fiction as we explore the most persistent theories. The official ruling didn't satisfy the internet, it only fueled wilder theories. One of the most popular was murder. Online sleuths argued there was no way she could have climbed into the 10-foot-tall tank and closed the heavy lid by herself. However, the maintenance worker who found her confirmed the lid was already open. And while the main roof access was alarmed, the fire escape provided a plausible, unalarmed route. Then came the paranormal theories. The Cecil Hotel is infamous. It was once home to serial killer Richard Ramirez, and has been the site of numerous suicides and deaths. This led many to believe a dark force within the hotel was responsible. Some even connected her actions in the elevator to a ritual known as the Korean elevator game, which is said to open a portal to another dimension. The hotel's past is undeniably creepy, but there is zero evidence to support a supernatural cause. Perhaps the most outlandish theory linked her death to a government conspiracy. Around the time she vanished, a tuberculosis outbreak occurred on Skid Row near the hotel. The name of the test used to screen for it, Lam Elisa. This incredible coincidence spawned a theory that Elisa was a biological warfare agent who was eliminated. However, her autopsy showed no signs of tuberculosis, debunking this idea entirely. These theories, while fascinating, caused real-world harm when web sleuths wrongly accused a death metal musician of her murder, harassing him relentlessly despite the fact he wasn't even in the country at the time. So what really happened to Elisa Lam? When you strip away the paranormal chatter and elaborate conspiracies, you are left with a story that is less about a haunted hotel and more about a profound human struggle. The most logical explanation, supported by the police investigation, the autopsy report, and Elisa's own writings on her blog, points to a heartbreaking accident. It appears that Elisa, a young woman battling a serious mental illness, suffered a severe psychotic episode. In a state of intense paranoia, she sought a place to hide and tragically found herself in a place from which she could not escape. Her story endures because it feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. The eerie elevator video and the shocking location of her death leave just enough room for doubt to creep in. But often the truth isn't hidden in a conspiracy, it's found in a painful reality. The enduring mystery of Elisa Lam isn't about ghosts or government cover-ups, it is the tragic story of a young woman who, in a moment of profound crisis, simply lost her way. The most haunting part of it all isn't what might have lurked in the shadows of the hotel, but the invisible internal struggle that no one else could see.